last year I was so happy with my weight loss looking at the picture. This year at the same time I'm sitting at my place, even though I know that I need to go work out since I'm not in a good headspace. At least that's what the excuse that I'm giving myself. Yeah, deep down I really want to, get back on track. And that's why I kind of reached out to you on your email, and I started like watching some of the videos again on your YouTube and like making sure to at least keep myself motivated, get up, run, walk, jog, whatever, make myself slowly getting back on like the activity level.
You've really learned a lot. I mean, from this entire story, I see you coming into it and making a lot of the mistakes that everybody makes. You talk about them now in retrospect as if they're obvious, but when you're going through it, it's not. And I think like all of this overwhelming amount of information and overwhelming amount of variables is what stops a lot of people from taking action. Exactly. Because there's so many things to focus on. As you know, so much of this is about momentum. Yeah. And what can you do to just get the ball rolling in the right direction? So I say you have learned so much. You know a lot about strength training now. You know a lot about not doing too much cardio. You know a lot about how many calories are sustainable for you to eat. You know a lot about meal prepping and eating 5 meals a day and getting your protein in. You know so much, but don't be afraid to lower those bars for yourself and do something that you can do every day. So what if you had goals that were easier to hit and you could hit them every day? And you could slowly add to them over time. You started with 5-pound dumbbells, you moved it up to 10. Maybe you start with 1,000 steps, move it up to 2. Move it up to 3. Yeah. And if you don't hit, if your goal is 5,000 steps and you don't get them in a day, you didn't fail. That's just a B. Like 5,000 steps is an A on the test, 4,000 is a B, 3,000 is a C. People, they know how to do this, and you know how to do it because you've been through so much education. You know that life isn't pass or fail. There's like varying degrees of grades that you can get. Don't want you to think that you're either on the wagon or off the wagon. Maybe with your diet, it's like maybe cooking all my meals and prepping all my meals is an A. Maybe prepping 80% is a B, prepping 60, so like give yourself that sliding scale and give yourself victories, because nothing is going to get that momentum going like victories, like taking little actions and building that momentum, but nothing is going to stop that snowball from spiraling like failing. But I don't even care what the metrics are that you set for yourself. Like my biggest thing for you right now is that you set goals that you can achieve so that you just get that snowball going. Look at that spectrum. Look at what can you do to slowly push that ball in the right direction. This concept of grace and grit, I guess, is what I'm getting at, where you got gritty for a while and you showed up no matter what. After that gritty period, you had to apply some grace to yourself. Things changed. Yeah. And now you're allowed to apply both to yourself in varying degrees. It's not all grit. It's not all grace. It's let me get gritty when I can, show up, deliver, but let me be graceful and understand that my situation right now is damn unique. This is a different time in your life than, God, I can't imagine the mental identity shift that you're going through. So be graceful.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, what I would like to say is, like, I think if you lose someone so dear to you, and if it's like one of your parents, getting back from that, like, I check my heart rate like 1,000 times more than I used to, because, something happened to my dad, and I'm just so anxious and I'm so scared of life right now, because the way that things took a turn in my life, it's just been so hard for me, because like feeling so anxious, and I just want to like box myself up somewhere. My feet get cold, my hands get cold. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? But even though I'm in a good body space, something might happen to me and I get anxious, and anxiety hits me. The thing that life throws at you can make that kind of a difference to your head and to your like everyday life.
It's so true. Piggyback on like what we kind of said at the beginning, little issues, not little issues, big issues are always going to pop up no matter where you are. And then it's like, how do you mentally deal with them? Because the mental aspect of this whole journey, I think, is more important than the physical aspect. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Getting those calories in, shedding those fat, I would say that is like secondary. Like primary thing would be that, setting yourself up for the task that like lies in front of you. Don't get distracted when someone says, hey, you didn't lose weight. Like the last time I saw you, you look the same. But you actually know, because like you are the one looking at the weighing scale, and you are the one checking yourself out in the mirror every day. You are the one like seeing your muscle pop out, like your body getting toned. trust your eyes, trust your brain, trust what you feel and what your body tells you, and then listen to the other opinions and the other comments that you get from your friends or family.
Absolutely. And I think too, it's important that when you are listening to yourself, that you make sure that that version of yourself that's talking to you is a kind
Yeah.
person, who wants the best for you and really loves you, and treat yourself kind of like you'd treat a child, where like them being healthy doesn't mean me being overly rigid like a damn dictator every day and, keeping a keen eye on every little morsel of food that goes in their mouth and never letting them celebrate, never letting them have a rest day. But like really loving the whole process, zooming out, looking at what's sustainable, looking at what's healthy from a bird's eye view. Like maybe healthy today is to, cut a little slack. Like, okay, have a slice of birthday cake at the party or don't. Or, it depends what is ideal for you in this context. And if you're out there, dear listener, keep an eye on that version of yourself that's talking to you too, because you can be your own greatest asset, but you can also
Yeah.
be your own greatest enemy. It just depends on what that voice is saying.